Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs today. In this session, we are going to discuss about today's current affairs, that is the current affairs of February 1, 2021. Let us begin. Indian Coast Guard Day. Every year, the Indian Coast Guard celebrates Indian Coast Guard Day on February 1. It is nothing but the racing day or the foundation day of Indian Coast Guard. This year, in 2021, the 45th racing day of Indian Coast Guard is being celebrated. The Indian Coast Guard was launched in 1977 under the Coast Guard Act. The Indian Coast Guard operates under Ministry of Defence. The Indian Coast Guard is the fourth largest in the world with 156 ships and 62 aircraft. The role of Indian Coast Guard. It protects artificial islands and other offshore installations in India. It also protects the marine ecology, that is, by preventing and controlling the marine pollution. The Indian Coast Guard guards the entire 7,516 kilometers of coastline in the country. It also enforces the laws in international and territorial waters. The Indian Coast Guard collects scientific data. Whenever we study about Indian Coast Guard, there are two significant committees to be studied. They are the Naga Chaudhary Committee and Rustamji Committee. The Naga Chaudhary Committee was set up in 1971. Initially, that is before 1971, there were several instances of smuggling in the country. In order to control the smuggling, the Indian Navy wanted to establish Indian Coast Guard. So why the Indian Navy came in is the Indian Customs Department frequently called the Indian Navy to control the smuggling in the country. Therefore, the Indian Navy was constantly insisting the government of India to set up the Indian Coast Guard. Later, in 1975, the Rustamji Committee was set up. The Rustamji Committee was the actual committee that recommended the Indian Coast Guard. It was not the Naga Chaudhary Committee, though Naga Chaudhary Committee discussed the importance of Indian Coast Guard. So in exam, when asked which committee which committee recommended the establishment of Indian Coast Guard, it is Rustamji Committee. Okay, now what did the Rustamji Committee recommend? It recommended the need for ICG. Okay, and the need for ICG increased after the discovery of oil in Bombay High. The oil in Bombay High was discovered around 1971 to 72. Next, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. Recently, the Government of India approved 945 crores of rupees for the Startup India Seed Fund. The Startup India Seed Fund Scheme is being implemented by the DPIIT, which is Department for Promotion of Internal and Industry Trade. This scheme is to be implemented between 2021 and 2025. It was introduced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Prarambh. Prarambh is a Startup India International Summit that was recently held before 10 to 15 days. Okay, now what will this Startup India Seed Fund do? It includes all the startups in all sectors. Okay, no particular sector is privileged. However, it gives priorities to certain other sectors. They are waste management, financial inclusion, energy, biotechnology, healthcare, space, food processing. It is important to set up such funds because India is the third largest startup ecosystem. There are other initiatives to boost the startups in India. They are the National Seed Fund. It was introduced by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Union Budget 2020-21. However, this couldn't be completely implemented because of COVID-19. Funds for startups was introduced by the government of India. Around 10,000 crores of rupees was allocated to this fund. Okay. Adi Mahotsav. Adi Mahotsav is a national festival. It was launched by Vice President Ramnath Kovind and it is to be launched on February 1, 2021. It is a national tribal festival. It celebrates the spirit of tribal culture, crafts, cuisine and commerce. Around 1,000 tribal artisans, healers and folk performers participate in Adi Mahotsav. The Adi Mahotsav is being conducted by the Government of India since 2017. It is conducted by TriFed that operates under Ministry of Tribal Affairs. What is TriFed? TriFed is Tribal Cooperative Marketing Development Federation. Now, what is the main purpose of celebrating Adi Mahotsav? The festival helps to familiarize the people with the rich, diverse craft and culture of tribal communities that are spread across India. All the products of tribal communities can be promoted in a single place through this Adi Mahotsav. Okay. In 2020, there was no Adi Mahotsav festival because of COVID-19. What is the importance of Adi Mahotsav? It acts as a platform for the tribal communities to display their handicrafts, silk fabrics, terracotta, metal crafts and beadwork. Also, the festival is important because it signifies 8% of India's population. That is, the tribal people constitute 8% of India's population and therefore the festival is highly important. Next, Pulse Polio Program. President Ramnath Kovind recently launched the Pulse Polio Program. The program is conducted in the country between January 31, 2020 and February 2, 2020. Under the program, polio drops are provided to children in the age of 0 to 5 years. Usually, the National Immunization Day is held on January 17 and the Pulse Polio program is launched on that day. But this year, this has been postponed because of COVID-19 vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine was launched on January 16th. Now, the government has also plans to suspend the COVID-19 vaccine program during the Pulse Polio program. The Pulse Polio program is usually provided to babies that who are 6 weeks, 10 weeks and 14 weeks old. However, in special cases, if a need, the polio drops are also provided to children till 5 years. What is the Pulse Polio program? The Pulse Polio program was launched in 1995 by Government of India following the Global Polio Eradication Initiative of World Health Organization. It is a preventive pulse polio campaign. In 2014, the World Health Organization announced India as a polio-free country. Now, the Pulse Polio program is a part of Universal Immunization Program. What is Universal Immunization Program? It was launched in 1985. The main aim of the program was to prevent the mortality in children and pregnant women due to 12 diseases. So basically, the program targets 12 diseases and vaccination is provided to these 12 diseases. The diseases are tuberculosis, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, polio, hepatitis B, pneumonia and meningitis due to Haemophilus influenzae type B virus, measles, rubella, Japanese encephalitis and rotavirus diarrhea. So the Universal Immunization Program targets on these 12 diseases. Okay. Now, the gaps that were left by the Universal Immunization Program were to be filled by Mission Indradhanush. The Mission Indradhanush was launched in 2014. The main aim of the program was to focus 201 districts. So it was not on the entire country, just the selected 201 districts, and this mission again targeted on all the 12 diseases that was targeted by the universal immunization program. The main aim of Mission Indradhanush was to completely immunize children that were not covered under universal immunization program. It targeted pregnant women and children under 2 years. The main objective of Mission Indradhanush was to cover 90% of children by 2018. In first two phases of Mission Indradhanush, the increase in full immunization coverage increased from 1% per year to 6.7% per year. Okay, now intensified Mission Indradhanush. It was launched in 2017 to focus on 272 districts. These districts were mostly from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. It also had tribal population districts and hard to reach, that is the districts with the majority of population located in remote areas. The main aim was to cover urban areas. These urban areas were left out by the Mission Indradhanush. So this was launched to mainly cover the gaps of Mission Indradhanush. It is also actually called as Mission Indradhanush 2.0. Okay, so it covered districts where the immunization coverage was less than 70%. So this less than 70% includes universal immunization program and that of the Mission Indradhanush. Okay, so what are the highlights of intensified Mission Indradhanush? It enhanced the focus on dropouts, left outs or resistant families. Also, it focused on underserved and unserved urban and tribal population. The intensified Mission Indradhanush is to be conducted till March 2022. Next, Prabuddha Bharata. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the 125th anniversary celebration of Prabuddha Bharata. Prabuddha Bharata is nothing but Awakened India. It was started by Swami Vivekananda in 1896. It is basically a magazine. Okay, it consists of articles, translations of monks, scholars and other writers. The Prabuddha Bharata magazine is edited at Advaita Ashrama located in Uttarakhand. It is basically a Ramakrishna Mutt. However, the magazine is printed in Kolkata. The Prabuddha Bharata was founded in Chennai. Now, agreement for financial support to STARS project. Recently, the Ministry of Education signed an agreement with the World Bank and the Department of Economic Affairs. Under the STARS project, 6 states are covered. They are Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Kerala. The project cost is to be shared between the states and the World Bank. The project cost is to be shared in the form of result-based financing instrument called Program for Results. This option is basically included by the World Bank and also by the Government of India. Okay, now what is STARS project? It is strengthening teaching, learning and results for states. The STARS project basically aims to improve the assessment systems in schools. It was approved by Government of India in June 2020. The STARS project is implemented by Ministry of Education through the Samagra Shiksha scheme. The total cost of the project is 5,718 crores. The main objective of the project is to upgrade teaching environment, focus on strengthening education system in all the 6 states and fulfill education needs of the marginalized and also girls.